Imagine waking up at 90 years old. For many, the thought brings up images of frailty, aching joints, and a life confined to a chair. But if you walk through the streets of Okinawa or the quiet neighborhoods of Nagano, you will see something entirely different. You will see 90-year-olds tending to their gardens, riding bicycles to the market, and moving with a fluidity that defies their age. It is not genetics alone that gives them this vitality. In fact, researchers have found that genetics only account for about 20 to 30% of how long we live. The rest is entirely up to how we live. If you have been feeling stiff in the mornings, or if you worry that your best physical years are already behind you, I want you to listen closely. Because the secrets to staying active and vibrant well into your 90s are not hidden in expensive supplements or grueling gym routines. They are hidden in a few simple, daily habits that you can start practicing today. I am Dr. Richey Parker, and over the years, I have worked with many people facing this exact issue. Patients come into my office feeling defeated by the natural aging process, assuming that pain and sluggishness are just the price of getting older. But what I have learned, both from clinical experience and from studying the longest living populations on Earth, is that aging does not have to mean declining. The human body is remarkably resilient, and it responds directly to the signals we give it every single day. So let me walk you through this the way I would if you were sitting across from me in my office, because once you understand the specific habits that keep Japanese seniors so remarkably active, you will never look at your own daily routine the same way again. Let us start with something that might surprise you. The foundation of physical activity is not physical at all, it is psychological. In Japan, there is a concept called IKIGAI, which roughly translates to your reason for waking up in the morning. Now, this is not just a poetic idea. From a medical standpoint, having a strong sense of purpose directly impacts your nervous system. When you have a reason to get out of bed, your brain releases dopamine and other neurotransmitters that actually reduce the perception of pain and increase your motivation to move. You may have noticed this in your own life. On days when you have something you are truly excited about, your energy levels are higher, and your aches seem to fade into the background. For Japanese seniors, this purpose is often tied to their community, their family, or a daily practice like gardening. They do not retire from life. They simply shift their focus. If you have been feeling a lack of direction since retiring, or as your children have grown, I encourage you to think about what gives you a sense of meaning. It could be volunteering, learning a new skill, or simply committing to a daily walk with a friend. That mental spark is the very first step to physical vitality. Once you have that mental drive, you have to fuel your body in a way that supports it, and this brings us to a practice you might already be familiar with, but perhaps not in this context. It is called HARA HACHI, a Confucian teaching that instructs people to eat until they are 80% full. Think about your own dinners. How often do you eat until you feel completely stuffed, perhaps even needing to loosen your belt? When you overeat, your body has to divert a massive amount of energy and blood flow to your digestive system just to process the food. This leaves you feeling sluggish, and over time, that chronic overloading leads to weight gain, inflammation, and increased stress on your joints. By stopping at 80% full, Japanese seniors naturally practice a mild form of caloric restriction, which science has repeatedly shown to reduce oxidative stress and slow down cellular aging. You do not have to count calories to do this. Simply try eating a little slower. It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to signal to your brain that it is full. If you pause halfway through your meal, take a breath, and check in with your body, you will often find you are perfectly satisfied without that heavy, weighed-down feeling. Have you ever tried eating more mindfully like this? I would love to hear in the comments if you have noticed a difference in your energy levels when you do. Now let us talk about movement, because this is where the real magic happens. When we think of staying fit, we often picture hour-long, intense workouts at the gym. But if you observe active seniors in Japan, you will rarely see them doing heavy weightlifting or running marathons. Instead, their secret is something scientists call NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy you expend doing everything that is not sleeping, eating, or sports-like exercise. It is the act of walking to the local shop, squatting down to tend to plants, sweeping the floor, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. These small, frequent movements are absolutely crucial for preventing sarcopenia, which is the natural loss of muscle mass as we age. Every time you squat, stand, or walk, you are lubricating your joints and sending a signal to your muscles to maintain their strength. You do not need a gym membership to replicate this. You can start by simply changing your environment. Park your car a little further away from the store entrance. Do your own light gardening. Stand up and stretch for 2 minutes every hour if you work at a desk. It is the consistency of low-grade movement, not the intensity of occasional workouts, that keeps the body supple and ready for life well into your 90s. If you are finding this helpful, consider subscribing to Dr. Richey Parker for more practical health insights explained in plain English. I share these conversations because I truly believe that small, informed choices, repeated day after day, are what quietly transform your health over the years. Beyond diet and movement, there is another pillar of longevity that is often overlooked in Western medicine, yet it is just as critical as your blood pressure or cholesterol levels. It is social connection. In Okinawa, seniors often form what are called MOAI, which are close-knit groups of friends who support each other emotionally and financially for life. You might wonder how friendship affects physical health. The answer lies in your hormones. Chronic loneliness and social isolation trigger a sustained release of cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol levels over time increase inflammation, raise blood pressure, and weaken the immune system. On the other hand, genuine social interaction releases oxytocin, which actively lowers cortisol and protects your cardiovascular system. When you have people who expect to see you, you are more likely to get out of the house, stay active, and maintain a routine. If you have been feeling isolated, please know that you are not alone in that feeling, and it is never too late to build your own MOAI. It could be a weekly coffee group, a book club, or a walking group in your neighborhood. Your body literally needs these connections to stay healthy. Of course, we cannot talk about Japanese longevity without briefly touching on what fuels this active lifestyle. Their traditional diet is naturally anti-inflammatory, which is essential for keeping joints pain-free and the brain sharp. It is rich in omega-3 fatty acids from fish, which lubricate the joints and protect the heart. It includes fermented foods like Miso and natto, which are packed with probiotics that support a healthy gut microbiome. As we have discussed before, the gut and the brain are in constant communication, and a healthy gut reduces systemic inflammation that can make you feel stiff and tired. And then there is green tea, consumed daily, which is loaded with antioxidants called catechins that protect cells from damage. You do not have to completely overhaul your diet to benefit from this. Simply try adding one more serving of vegetables to your dinner, swapping a processed snack for a handful of nuts, or replacing your afternoon coffee with a cup of green tea. These are small, sustainable shifts that compound over time. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. You might be thinking, Doctor, I am already in my 50s or 60s, and I've spent decades sitting at a desk. Is it really possible for me to change this trajectory? The answer is a resounding yes. The human body possesses an incredible ability to adapt and heal at any age. I have seen patients in their 70s reverse muscle loss and dramatically improve their mobility just by committing to a daily 15-minute walk and making a few dietary adjustments. The key is to start exactly where you are. Do not compare your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20. If you have joint pain, start with seated stretches or water aerobics. If you feel overwhelmed, pick just one habit from what we have discussed today. Maybe it is practicing HARA HACHI at dinner tonight. Maybe it is calling an old friend to reconnect. Small, gentle steps are far more effective than dramatic, unsustainable overhauls. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to picture your own future. Aging is inevitable, but frailty is not. By cultivating a sense of purpose, eating mindfully, embracing constant gentle movement, and nurturing your relationships, you are giving your body the exact tools it needs to thrive. You are not just adding years to your life, but more importantly, you are adding life to your years. Your body is constantly listening to the choices you make, and it is never too late to start speaking a language of care and vitality to it. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I am Dr. Richey Parker, and it is always my privilege to share these conversations with you. If you found this helpful, if it gave you even one small idea to try today, I would be deeply grateful if you would give this video a like, subscribe for more honest, practical health insights, and share it with someone you care about who might be looking for a healthier, more active path forward. Take good care of yourself, be gentle with your body, and I will see you in the next one.